So now I'm going to teach you about projects. So you had two families open. So for instance, if I do window tiles now, I've got a base plate here and I've got a column here, and I could start producing a project now and import or load these elements into a project. When I'm in a project, I'll be able to do less editing. So if I wanted to edit the length of this column, it may be limited within the project, but when I'm in the family, I can do whatever I want. The same with the base plate. There are a couple of ways of loading things into projects, and I'll show you both. But first of all, we need to open a project. So File, this time it's New, and then Project. Looks similar, but now we've got a construction template. Again, if you browse in here, you can see where you are in a folder structure, and what you're wanting to do is to just create the construction template here. So you've got, sorry I pressed the wrong one there, construction template there, and it's project, and you press OK. So now you're opening up a blank space. It looks slightly different from the family. So this is the project that's opened. So if I go to tab view, so if I go to views and tab views, this level here is now the project. So this is the project. I can rename this if I wanted to, but this here, if I just get to it, is a plan view at level 0, so it's the base level, and these are elevation views. So these are saying if I wanted to in this model, I could look from the south or from the east or from the north and so on. But there's nothing in there, it's just empty, and we're looking at level 0, and you've got 3D views and so on, but there's nothing there. So there's two ways of getting the base plate and the column in. So the first thing you can do is go to the thing you want, the family you want to load in. So if we again went into, say, here, the 3D view, which is this here. So say I went into the reference level. It's always worth working in planes rather than 3D when you're loading things up. So this is the column that's here. I've got a lot of construction lines, so it's not easy to see, but I can load this into that project. So if I've got here, I can do load into project. So load into project here, and then it says where do you want to load it into. So I can either load it into the other family, or I can load it into the project. So you can put two families together, but we want to load it into this project here. So you click that and press OK. It now takes you to that view I just came out of, and if you look by my crosshairs, you can see there's something just dragging there. If I zoom in a bit more, you can see there's a column there. So I'm putting that roughly in the middle. So if you just click, left click, and it'll drop one down, and it's still doing another one. So you need to decide, right, do I want two or not? So I'm going to put two there, and that'll just help you visualize where you are in 3D space. So I click another one here, so one above the other, and then when I finish, double escape gets rid of it. So now in this project browser, in project 2, you've got some different things from you had in families. So you've got multiple levels. You've then got elevations rather than kind of front and back and side. You've got schedules and sheets. So these things didn't exist, or they didn't work within families, and we'll be going on to do sheets this time and schedules in the next exercise. Sheets are basically producing drawings of your model, and schedules allow you to intelligently schedule out the items within your model. So let's go to 3D space here. So go to 3D views, click on the plus and do 3D. You can now see we've got a level 0 and level 4000, and because I put 2 on, you've got 2 columns, and you can see those columns have sat down at level 0. Again, there are ways of putting those at different levels. If you click on one in this property level, it would tell you what level it's on, and various other things you could edit within it, volumes and stuff that will tell you what model it is, what family it is here. So look at the views. If you went for the east view, you're expecting to see 2 because I put them north-south, and if you go to the south view, you'd only see 1 because the other one's behind it. So hopefully you get your head around 3D space, and you can see this 4000, and you can see it's roughly the right scale. This is about a metre high. So I'll show you the other way of bringing in families, which is you can go into files that exist on your computer. So now I'm in this here. I'll go back to level 0. Always worth bringing things in, well, on plan. If you're dealing with plans, sometimes you bring them in on other views, but I'll bring it in on plan. Level 0. So this time from the project, last time I was at the family, I'm going to say, go to the insert tab, I'm going to say load family. Then takes me into my file structure. It's remembered where I was, so I'm going to pull in the base plate and press open. So now this kind of just disappears. So it hasn't come this time, it isn't on my crosshairs and you think you've lost it, but that's basically loaded it into this project's memory. And if you go for architecture and component, place a component, it will look at components you've got. So you could have a big list of components here that you could add that you've used in the past, and the last one that you put in here, so you can see the columns there as well if you wanted to add another one, and so was potentially some furniture you've used in the past. But in this base plate here, so if I get this one and just drag it in, I've then got the same situation. You can see this is a base plate, so I'll drop one by left clicking there, double escape and then zoom in, and I can see that that's the base plate I wanted and that's the column I wanted. I want that column to go on that base plate. They're both at level 0, so I've got to move that up the thickness of this plate to put it on if I'm going to do it correctly. So you'd have to think about moving that, and I'll show you some other commands. So very simply, you've now got a base plate and 2 columns. You don't need both. If I went to, say, a south view now, you would see a column and a base plate, but that column would want to go on top, on the top face, not just be slid across.